Hey, what's up, guys? I've been a member of the Deadline Club for many years. That's the New York City chapter of the Society of Professional Journalists. I've been to many of their events. I've encountered some really smart people, and it's largely, I think, enhanced my understanding of journalistic standards. But after a few recent encounters, I got to ask, what's happening at the Deadline Club? This last Tuesday, I attended an event on June 17th. And early on, I was approached by someone who claimed to be from the club's membership and board of directors. She asked about my work and some information, and of course, my documentary on Ukraine naturally came up. And that's when things got bizarre. She launched into a missive about how Ukraine and Russia just want to keep fighting, a classic false narrative I've heard too many times. And she said this on a day when Russia had just launched its worst attack on Kyiv ever, bombing apartment buildings, killing 28 and wounding over 130 more civilians. I didn't yet know if my friends in Kyiv were alive. So I stopped her and reminded her that Russia illegally invaded Ukraine and occupies 18% of its land. Russia has killed over 12,000 civilians, including nearly 1,000 children. Russia has kidnapped over 20,000 Ukrainian children, and Russia routinely executes and tortures POWs. Russia is attacking civilians while Ukraine defends itself by targeting the Russian military. That's not both sides wanting to fight. That's one side attempting to subjugate and kill while the other is just trying to survive. It's not that complex. Most Ukrainians haven't slept through the night in over 3 years. Millions have been driven from their homes. Millions more are under brutal Russian occupation right now. The Ukrainian economy is in shambles. Ukrainian amputee soldiers have to go back to the front lines to fight. Not one Ukrainian has been untouched by this war, including Ukrainians here in the US and in New York City. In contrast, many Russians aren't even paying attention to the atrocities their country is committing daily. No one has paid a heavier price for this war, and no one wants peace more than Ukrainians. I know because I've been there 6 times. I'm going again next week. From the Minsk Accords to the Budapest Memorandum to the most recent ceasefire, Ukraine has agreed to numerous agreements to avoid or stop war, only to have Russia cynically break them. So, why would a journalist, someone presumably trained in facts and context, repeat Kremlin propaganda? Why reduce a brutal war of aggression to a lazy both sides trope that belongs on Russia Today or in a Tucker Carlson segment? Why would a journalist knowingly repeat narratives we know are amplified by Russian troll farms? So I told her again, this is Russia's war on Ukraine, not the other way around. I mentioned Trump and how he's emboldened Putin by cutting aid, delaying sanctions, denigrating Ukraine, praising Russia, and undermining our allies. Her answer? Oh, Trump just that day said he was unhappy with Putin. I laughed. That's her idea of leadership and accountability? When I tried to describe what I'd seen firsthand in Ukraine, she feigned being busy and walked away. Good. But here's the thing. This wasn't the first time something like this happened at the Deadline Club. At a previous event last fall, I met a journalist from Cologne, Germany, who said she was now based in New York City. She noticed my Ukrainian flag pin and she blurted out, "All Germans know Ukraine is the most corrupt country in the world." I was like, really? More corrupt than Russia? I asked. Her answer was a stream of Kremlin talking points and crazy conspiracy theories that would make the Proud Boys proud. Things like NATO caused the war. Democrats control the weather. Democrats conjured Hurricane Helene to hit red states, and on and on and on. I excused myself and immediately left the event. I assumed this was just one kooky person that I'd unluckily encountered in the conversation lottery that day. So I returned last Tuesday, hoping for a better experience, hoping to escape, even if only briefly, from the horrors of war that my Ukrainian friends face every day. Instead, I encountered more disinformation, and this time it came from a member of the Deadline Club board. Let me be clear. I believe in facts. I believe in fairness. That's what journalism is supposed to stand for, or so I was told. In the past, at the Deadline Club functions, I've had conversations with intelligent people about topics well beyond Ukraine, including travel, climate change, elections, sports, documentaries, and podcasts. Most of the other Deadline Club members I met did seem thoughtful, principled, and grounded in truth. So that's why it's so disturbing when someone who claims to be representing this organization, supposedly meant to uphold fact-finding and truth, so confidently spews disinformation while not letting facts get in the way of their ideology, all without a shred of self-awareness, humility, or even curiosity. This is so not journalistic. So when this happens twice in a row at events hosted by an organization I once respected, especially when one of those individuals sits on the boards, it makes me question whether the Deadline Club is the truth and facts organization it claims to be.